Greetings, YouTubers! It's Sir John Henry of Buttons. You're probably wondering what I'm wearing right now. Well, in case you can't tell, these are my Nobles robes. 5 AC, plus like 100 mana, and, adds at least 20 charisma to all you viewers out there. So, what I want to talk about today, in case you haven't already figured it out, is EverQuest. And I want to talk about the old school days. Back in the days of Kunark, before you had your Vashir, your Froglocks, all that nonsense. It was a hard time back then. And I should know, because, as an enchanter in Nectulos Forest, I could barely get level 3. I was lucky if I did get level 3. You're walking around, and there's some spiderlings, you attack one spiderling with like suffocating sphere, shallow breath, whatever it was you may have had, and before you know it, there's like a whole group of spiderlings just all over you. And JHButtons, your pet, he did what he could, but he just wasn't good enough. They overcame him, and before you know it, he had fallen, and then you had fallen. You had to go retrieve your corpse, get your Dustcryer's ball, or whatever it was you may have had, whatever other equipment you may have had, your loot, your platinum. It was hard times. And then, on top of that, you had to run. You had to do a lot of running, okay? And so, you would run all the way to, say you were, a high elf, you had to run all the way to Caladan, and God forbid you didn't get killed by, the fabled Coreflunk, So, you'd run all the way over there, and you get on the boat. You might fall off the boat. I know I did once or twice. Wound up in the ocean of tears, had to get a GM, to put me, back on land. And it would take about, 2-3 hours to get wherever you had to go. If you didn't get bound, you're screwed. You had to start all over. And now with, you can just find anybody. You can do an OOC, an ook, if you will, out of character, or send a tell and say, buy me here, buy me there, buy me everywhere. And they would do it. So, it took me forever to get leveled up. I had like a week's worth of playtime. I was only like level 34 at the highest with my one character. And that was after, some tough times of getting ripped off by other players who would give me this crap like ball peen hammer, which had crappy stats, and they'd run off with my plat. And so I got duped a few times. And I don't mean to sound like an old curmudgeon. Just talking about the good old days in EQ and saying, back in my day, it was like this or like that. You had to walk uphill both ways, all that nonsense. But it's true, you really did. And I just want you guys to realize how good you have it. So when you're riding around on your little dinosaurs or your horses or what have you, you think back to those times. You think back to when you ran out of stamina and you didn't have all your charm spells and your sows and and what have you. And just think, God, you know what? Those guys were troopers. I don't know how they did it, and I damn well respect them for it. So this is John Henry Buttons signing off. Camping, if you will, in 10 seconds, and it is now time to end my days. Farewell, fellow Norrathians, and good day, YouTubers.